In a realm known as the Eternal Night Palace, within the Night System domain, a dedicated gamer had invested a decade trying to conquer its most elusive challenge. As the timer ticked down, showing just under 7 hours left, a level 180 player squared off against the formidable Lord of Despair, known as Despair. "Once I defeat you," the player boldly declared, "a legendary prize will be mine." But even before he could act, he noticed Despair charging up. The beastly dragon released a blinding blast, dealing a massive 14,000 damage and weakening the player's defenses by 20%. It was now the player's turn to retaliate. Swiftly, he leapt onto the dragon, stabbing it with his dagger. "Is this all the might of the top boss?" he taunted. Suddenly, an alert informed him that Despair's health was critically low. But Despair wasn't finished. The dragon began to gather more energy, entering a berserk mode. The player knew the stakes: one wrong move, and it could be the end. And then, as if defying game logic, Despair unleashed another fiery breath. Again? Doesn't this move have a cooldown? The player thought. Spotting an opportunity, he employed the ghost skill, allowing him to dash and land a guaranteed critical hit. The player had a history with Despair. As memories of past battles flooded back, he unleashed the decapitating storm skill, a whirlwind so powerful that it could instantly finish foes with low health. With a flurry of attacks, the player triumphed over the mighty dragon, earning him the rare Death of the Lord achievement and the coveted Seed of Despair reward. With mere minutes before the game server would shut down forever, Wang Yan stared at his screen in astonishment. "I've finally done it," he whispered. Yet, as he celebrated his decade-long pursuit, the monitor began to emit mysterious sparks and an uncanny glow. "What is this light?" Wang Yan pondered, unsure of what awaited him next. After hours of intense gameplay, Wang Yan felt the fatigue setting in, making the line between the game and reality blur. An unexpected system prompt appeared. Server restarting in 3 seconds. But why? The server was supposed to shut down for good. Wang Yan glanced out of the window for distraction, only to be met with a scene straight from a nightmare. The ground below had cracked open, revealing countless red eyes. Monsters, identical to the ones from Eternal Darkness, swarmed the streets, attacking civilians. Chaos and fear ruled. This can't be real, Wang Yan thought, pinching himself. Another system alert declared, Eternal Darkness successfully rebooted. A massive explosion on the street sent both monsters and humans fleeing. And from the heart of the explosion emerged a titanic creature. The system chimed in again. System connection successful. Staring in disbelief, Wang Yan murmured, "Is this the real-world integration of the Eternal Darkness system?" Amidst this pandemonium, his phone rang. His dad. But before he could even answer, a goblin shattered his window, lunging at him. The system recognized it as a level 2 goblin warrior. Though gripped by fear, Wang Yan's gaming instincts kicked in. Games are fictional, and reality. Is this reality? He reached for his shadow skill, but it was unavailable. Yet, the inherent agility and combat skills of his in-game assassin character still coursed through him. He evaded the goblin's strike and counter-attacked, slashing it into oblivion. His system announced. Experience gained, 10 points, level up to level 2, dagger mastery achieved. Gazing at his ordinary kitchen knife, he pondered. Real-world weapons can be just as deadly. Wang Yan knew he needed to gear up to face the impending dangers. There was a monster, notorious for dropping an assassin armor, crucial for his survival. However, his priority was his parents. He needed to find them amidst this chaos. The rules of this world were evolving, and to navigate it, he would have to adapt swiftly. Beyond his broken window, amidst the ruined cityscape, lurked a level 5 goblin scout, waiting for its next prey. In the heart of his virtual journey, Wang Yan felt the thrill of victory as he skillfully lodged a knife into a goblin's cranium. Instantly, his efforts were rewarded. A notification informed him that he'd leveled up to 4 and unlocked the cold poison skill. Surveying the battleground, he scoffed at the goblin's rudimentary weapon. It might not be the best, he mused, but it sure beats my kitchen knife. Though his progress was promising, Wang Yan pondered over his stats, realizing his leveling pace was a tad slower than desired. But his contemplation was abruptly halted. Out of the shadows, a hulking level 8 troll emerged, instantly alerting Wang Yan's scout senses. Not one to be easily intimidated, Wang Yan squared his shoulders, reminding himself that overcoming such adversaries was merely a matter of strategy and time. However, the stakes heightened as another silhouette loomed, revealing an even more formidable foe. A level 10 elite troll. 2 of them? The game master must really think highly of me. Wang Yan muttered with a hint of sarcasm. They'll need more than brawn to best me. As the dual assault began, Wang Yan quickly realized the folly of taking on both simultaneously. Strategy was paramount. As one troll readied its strike, Wang Yan saw an opportunity to deploy his new skill: cold poison. Each strike imposed a blood-draining effect, weakening the enemy bit by bit. Swiftly, he unleashed a sequence of attacks, gradually stacking the deadly effect. With a smirk, he delivered the 5th and final blow, causing a catastrophic explosion from the troll. The explosion's impact was more potent than Wang Yan had anticipated, leaving him dazed amidst debris. His energy depleted, every fiber of his being screamed at him to yield. As the second troll advanced, desperation crept in. Is this my end? He questioned, refusing to relent. Suddenly, the seed of despair activated. A majestic dragon, reminiscent of the Lord of Despair, materialized. The dragon addressed Wang Yan, acknowledging his prowess in their previous battle and granting him a unique gift. The dragon departed with a cryptic promise of revealing its true strength during their next encounter. A system notification heralded the news. Wang Yan now had access to the coveted profession of necromancer. In the mystical realm of the undead zone, Wang Yan discovered newfound powers. Among them was the ghost fire, a power that enabled him to harness control over the deceased. Additionally, he possessed the judgment ability, an elite necromantic skill that enhanced his dominion over the undead. The undead zone was an atmospheric aura surrounding Wang Yan. Within its comfiness, he not only healed slowly but could also hinder his enemies by halving the effectiveness of their abilities. What's more, he could command the dead without expending any energy. Soon, the system alerted him of 2 souls dwelling in the undead zone. Eager to harness these spirits, Wang Yan summoned them to his side. With the aid of his undead talenteer, these ethereal beings became formidable warriors, capable of inflicting grievous wounds on foes. Wang Yan set his sights on a lurking troll, ordering his spectral soldiers to assault it. As the troll bled profusely, Wang Yan seized the moment. Plunging his dagger into the troll's heart, he declared, "Burn in hell." Triumphantly, he extracted his blade and watched the creature collapse. The system chimed in, acknowledging Wang Yan's first elite enemy defeat and bestowed upon him the esteemed Pioneer title. His experience surged, promoting him to level 10. As a reward, a medley of valuable items and new skills, including ghost and continuous strikes, were added to his arsenal. Surveying his surroundings, the system highlighted more souls he could commandeer. The tantalizing prospect of controlling these skeletons was presented to him. When Wang Yan attempted to harness the power over a skeleton, uncertainty loomed. Had he succeeded? Before he could ponder further, a menacing Cyclops appeared. Recognizing the danger a level 20 Cyclops posed, Wang Yan knew he had to flee. As he sprinted, the system revealed an intriguing secret about the Hidden Fire class. A conduit for conversing with the dead, allowing its users to become mighty necromancers. With this rare class, one could conjure formidable undead entities and amplify their necromantic abilities with ghostly fire. Wang Yan wondered, is this a concealed class? In all my decade of playing, I've never encountered the necromancer class. As he pondered, the system updated him on his monster kill count and the ghostly fires he'd amassed. Curious and excited, Wang Yan queried his newfound ghost fire ability, eager to explore its depths. In the digital realm, Wang Yan made a startling discovery. He possessed the rare ability to summon undead warriors. It wasn't typical for his game class, and he feared that flaunting this power would make him a target. For now, he resolved to keep it a secret and grow his strength. A system notification popped up, explaining the mechanism. To harness the undead's power and unlock further abilities, he needed ghost fires. 3 for dominance of the undead, 30 for undead zone and undead gate, a hefty 1,000 for undead territory, and a staggering 40,000 for the awakening talent. Wang Yan mused. The ghost fires define my power's boundary. Makes sense, but it's a challenge. Lost in thought about how to collect these ethereal flames, a sudden cry snapped him back. A young girl, tears streaming down her face, was searching for her mother. Looming behind her was a massive cyclops. Without hesitation, Wang Yan darted forward, inquiring about her family while trying to fend off the creature. He swiftly rescued the girl, mocking the cyclops for being the dim-witted among giants. However, he forgot one thing. Cyclopes have a relentless tracking skill. Once they lock onto a target, they chase and attack till the prey is down. A man approached, urging them to flee the scene. Handing the girl over, Wang Yan prepped for battle. As the Cyclops and its goblin minions closed in, he activated his ghost skill, a perfect asset for an assassin, and swiftly eliminated the lesser foes. The other players saw an opportunity and joined the fray against the Cyclops. But the Cyclops wasn't going down without a fight. With a swing of its weapon, the players were thrown off guard. Just when things looked bleak, Wang Yan seized the moment. Thanks for the distraction, he quipped, launching a critical strike. As the Cyclops bled out, a group of players revived, visibly shaken. Amidst the chaos, the young girl rushed to one of them, possibly her guardian, checking if he was all right. A curious voice piped up. Did anyone see that? Someone's taking on a Cyclops. Another responded. Who's that brave soul? As the group strained their eyes, the outline of Wang Yan emerged, expertly dodging and striking the monstrous creature. I can't believe it, the commander murmured. Someone's challenging a Cyclops single-handedly. Wang Yan understood the challenge before him. The natural defense of the giant race, combined with a 10-level difference, made it a monumental task. But he knew their weak points, and if he could just strike there. A nearby girl, watching with awe, whispered, "Is he some kind of master assassin?" Another onlooker nodded. He might be, but this power difference is unreal. The crowd cheered for Wang Yan, their hopes rising with each dodge and parry. Feeling the eyes upon him, the Cyclops turned menacingly towards the group. Wang Yan warned, "Stay out of this, leave while you can." The crowd didn't need telling twice. They scurried away, leaving Wang Yan alone to face the one-eyed beast. The Cyclops, seeing its moment, gathered an enormous energy in its mouth. But Wang Yan wasn't fazed. A lone wolf might dare to face a lion, he thought aloud, preparing his continuous hitting skill, a barrage of rapid strikes with incredible damage. The Cyclops responded with its explosive strike, clutching its mace and dealing massive damage around it. But Wang Yan was ready. Time for my turn, he declared. As he became the target of the one-eyed monster's fury, he unleashed a torrent of blows. With a final strike, Wang Yan activated the cold poison skill. A chilling explosion followed, and from the haze emerged undead warriors, finishing off the Cyclops. A system notification hailed Wang Yan's triumph, awarding him the Fearless title, granting immunity against any fear-inducing skills and reducing the defenses of giants he would face by a quarter. Wang Yan took a moment to breathe in the eerie aura of the Undead Zone, a sanctuary for necromancers. It was a unique area, shrouded in death, where only necromancers and their undead creations could treat. Taking in his surroundings, he pondered. Have the others already gone? Maybe it's time to test out this new power. In a mysterious dimension, Wang Yan summoned the fabled undead gate to harness the souls of his adversaries. While the gate could turn foes into undead warriors or create an undead zone, the first use was guaranteed to produce an undead warrior. After harnessing its power, Wang Yan shut the portal, wondering if he alone could traverse it. Lost in wonderment, he was caught off guard by monsters lurking behind him. Luckily, a stranger shouted a warning. As Wang Yan spun around, he saw this newcomer in action. Despite identifying as a level 5 mage, the stranger battled 2 level 7 trolls using a street lamp as a weapon. His raw power was reminiscent of a berserker's fury, not a mage's spells. As the creatures fell defeated, Wang Yan expressed his admiration. Battling without spells? Impressive. The mage shrugged. Just the strength of a humble Taoist. But you held your own against those trolls with a mere lantern. Before they could continue, chaos erupted around them. Monsters poured in, and a chilling notification declared the descent of the Lord of Despair, Disper, upon Earth. An eerie force, eternal darkness, started downloading onto the planet, with progress bars revealing the ongoing calamity. Spotting Disper, Wang Yan bravely called out to challenge the entity. A warning flashed, urging them to flee to safety. As they deliberated, a monstrous horde lunged at them. Just then, a truck plowed into the beasts. Its driver beckoned them to flee, holding up an explosive device, signaling his intent to buy them time. The blast roared, and in the midst of the chaos, the Taoist quickly formed a plan. Grabbing Wang Yan, he started spinning him around. Confused, Wang Yan shouted, "What are you doing?" With unmatched strength, the Taoist hurled Wang Yan towards safety, though not quite in the intended direction. As Wang Yan hurtled towards the blast's epicenter, the Taoist realized his error, exclaiming, "Oops, wrong angle." Caught between a full circle of challenges, with danger both ahead and behind, Wang Yan once again found himself in a tight spot. "Looks like I've blundered again," he muttered, "but I won't let it end this way." As he felt himself falling, he exclaimed, "Such foolishness." In a last-ditch effort, Wang Yan activated his unique skill, the Gate of Death. As he did so, the system reported the depletion of 10 ghostly lights. Beneath him, an ethereal gateway formed, leading to the undead field, a realm where departed souls roamed. This domain was his to control as a necromancer. He remarked that even a mere mist could obscure these potent portals. Calling forth the Cyclops, a towering skeletal guardian, he was quickly caught in its bony grasp. "Prepare yourself," Wang Yan commanded. With a thunderous thrust, the Cyclops catapulted Wang Yan out of harm's way. "That was a close one," he exclaimed with relief, as he noticed the Gate of Death receding behind him. An onlooker, a Taoist, witnessed Wang Yan's miraculous escape and couldn't contain his amazement. "How did you manage that?" "Wait up," he called out, trailing after him. Taking a daring dive, Wang Yan found himself at Jiahui department store, anchoring his descent with a dagger into a window pane. Crashing inside, he brushed himself off, taking a moment to regain his bearings. Safe, at least for now, he thought. But his relief was short-lived. The Taoist suddenly burst in through the shattered window. "How did you?" Wang Yan started. Nonchalantly brushing off the glass shards, the Taoist replied, "Just took a leap of faith." As they debated, a monstrous silhouette illumined outside. Silencing the Taoist with a finger to his lips, Wang Yan whispered, "We need to move, the basement. This building once was a shelter, we'll be secure there." Nodding in agreement, the Taoist added, "After you then." Descending the stairs, they cleverly distracted the goblins with a tossed soda can. Engrossed in their new toy, the creatures were vulnerable. Wang Yan and the Taoist swiftly dealt with them, with the latter delivering the final blow. "Odd," he mused. "Only goblins here. Where are the other beasts?" Wang Yan, now more familiar with the goblin's stature, agreed but voiced his relief at not encountering anything more formidable. For the duo knew all too well, an encounter with a level 50 monster could spell their doom. A set of imposing doors loomed ahead. "This must be the place," Wang Yan whispered. As the Taoist inspected the entrance, he remarked it looked secure enough to hide behind. But as they attempted to open it, the door's weight took them by surprise. With Wang Yan urging his companion for more strength, they finally pushed through. Elsewhere, in a heavily fortified command center, the military closely watched events unfold. A soldier reported a 12-hour disruption barrier that had ceased satellite operations, likening the present chaos to a global conflict. The base's commander, realizing the gravity of the situation, ordered a full military mobilization to fortify their domains and offer refuge. "But sir, the base can house 100 million, will that suffice?" questioned the soldier. The commander's solution: deploy the resources from Warehouse 81. The mention of this warehouse raised eyebrows. It contained vital supplies amassed over half a century for emergencies exactly like this. Asserting that these assets were meant for citizens, the commander declared it was high time they were used. The soldier nodded in agreement, promptly executing the orders. Gazing at the data on the expansive screen, the commander pondered the enigma they faced. Meanwhile, back in the safe haven, Wang Yan, holding a freshly found phone, was perplexed by a warning on its locked screen. Noting the eerie silence outside, he speculated that 24 hours had likely elapsed, and maybe the monsters had retreated. Venturing a peek outside, Wang Yan was taken aback. The streets were spotless, devoid of any evidence of the recent chaos. All seemed eerily calm and untouched, raising more questions than answers. Confused memories of the past swirled in Wang Yan's head. "I don't recall any ghouls or creatures that feasted on the dead," he mused. Before him stood a grand edifice, so unfamiliar. Wasn't this place a gym before? Is this now the lair of lizard-like beings, he thought. As he approached the one-horned palace, he rationalized. It's no wonder I don't see many monsters. They're probably all inside. Just as the thought crossed his mind, military helicopters buzzed overhead. Booming voices from loudspeakers commanded every able survivor to make their way to the airport for an impending rescue. As the message repeated, Wang Yan glimpsed soldiers scurrying forward. A soldier's voice rang out. "Divide and conquer. Ensure every sector is inspected. Use infrared devices and show no mercy to the monsters." Rescue operations were in full swing, with injured people being pulled from debris and medical attention being hastily given. A soldier approached Wang Yan, noting his relatively unscathed appearance. "You look all right. Head to the airport and await the rescue plane," he instructed. But Wang Yan, staring at a menacing red rift in the sky, whispered, "Despur, you declared war yesterday. This is our response." Upon entering a military tent, Wang Yan was met with curious looks. A soldier remarked, "You have the highest level I've ever seen. Though I don't fully understand these levels above heads, higher is better, right?" Handing Wang Yan a walkie-talkie, the soldier said, "Use this if you wish to search for your family. Call us when you find them." Gratefully accepting the device, Wang Yan thought about how simple the gadget was to use. He headed to a nearby truck, pondering his next move. The Taoists and the others might be readying to leave, but where are they heading? His thoughts shifted to immediate needs, and he swiftly loaded up on provisions that would last him for a week, even though the journey ahead was only supposed to be 6 hours. In a desolate land, Wang Yan, a determined traveler, pondered how long his journey would stretch. That evening, as dusk draped the landscape, he halted, lighting a fire and settling down to cook his sparse meal. The roads ahead were challenging, ravaged and abandoned. Without a GPS, his only guide was an old paper map. Wang Yan grew anxious, realizing his food stock might not last if this pace continued. As he ruminated, a single drop landed in front of him. Lifting his gaze, he met a torrential rain and, to his horror, a drooling monster looming overhead. A tasty meal," the creature taunted. Wang Yan's heart raced. Is this a shadow draconian? It was an eerie creature, expelled from the draconian clan because of its tainted blood, a thirst for bloodshed, and a penchant for stalking its prey in the night. Its sinister reputation preceded it. Once it targeted its prey, it pursued relentlessly, enjoying a cruel game before the final strike. With a defensive gesture, Wang Yan tossed his meal into the monster's gaping mouth, pulling out his dagger. The tool felt foreign, different from any he'd wielded in past games. The system pinged. A level 26 Shadow Draconian was his adversary. "You dare extinguish my fire? Do you realize how hard it was to light it without a match?" Wang Yan shouted, pushing the creature away. But the Draconian retaliated, flinging a razor-sharp spine. Narrowly dodging it, Wang Yan retorted. Good thing it wasn't the dragon fruit you threw. The draconian growled. I've longed for the taste of human. Well, the feeling isn't mutual, Wang Yan quipped. Amidst their banter, the campfire's flames, spurred by the wind, began to lick the edges of the forest, rapidly spreading. The draconian, wild with hunger, lunged at Wang Yan, declaring him his next feast. A fierce brawl ensued, with the draconian's hard scales proving a challenge for Wang Yan. But he was determined. You might have won round 1, but I'll dominate the next. As the forest fire intensified, Wang Yan invoked the gates of the dead, preparing for round 2. The system pinged again, signaling the start of their next face-off. Reported that the Shadow Draconian was using the innate hunter skill Hunter Instinct, which helps him improve his sense of danger. The Draconian got scared and said that he needed to run away. He rushed away into the forest and Wang Yan asked, did he think of running away? Nothing will work out for him. A one-eyed monster appeared from the gate, and Wang Yan ordered him to follow the Draconian. The Draconian continued to run and said that that person is dangerous. He is definitely an unusual person. He looked back and was greatly surprised when the Cyclops attacked him. The system window reported that the one-eyed one had placed a tracking mark on the Shadow Draconian. An eye appeared above the Draconian, and he asked the Cyclops why he was here. How did he become a human dog? Wang Yan cut the Draconian's body and asked, did he call him a dog? The one-eyed man is his general who would have thought that the nutritional effect of the kingdom of the dead was so good? The one-eyed man not only grew up, but also donned armor. The system window reported that the Shadow Draconian had burst into Bloody Sorrow. Blood Sorrow is a draconian skill where when a Shadow Draconian finds itself in a dangerous situation, it will burn a small amount of its own blood to achieve a quantum leap in strength and speed. For a limited time, this consumes 20% pure dragon blood, increasing speed and strength by 200%. The maximum health of the Draconian is reduced by 20%. After the effect of the Bloody Sorrow ends, the Shadow Draconian enters a short-term state of bleeding. His body caught fire and he said he had to run. The use of Blood Sorrow is limited. Wang Yan watched the dragon can climb up the cliff in fear and thought, is he that scary? And he activated Blood Sorrow so early. It's a bit unexpected, but he has a plan B. Draconian climbed onto the rock and said that he had made it out. But Wang Yan's warriors were waiting for him at the top and attacked him. The troll said that he had finally waited for him. As expected from His Highness. The Draconian asked, are they from the troll clan? From the ice field of the boundless sea. Did they attack him? That man is much scarier than he thought. He needs to escape quickly. He cut off their heads and told them not to disturb him. His Shadow Adaptator skill allows him to swing a pair of Shadow Blades and deal 100% critical damage. When the victim's health falls below 5%, the decapitation effect is triggered. And in the Bloodmorn state, the Shadow Blades deal 200% critical damage. When the victim's health drops below 10%, the decapitation effect is triggered. The Draconian felt that they grabbed his legs and said that this was absolutely impossible. He asked them to let him go, and a Cyclops appeared behind him and attacked him. The scene was chaotic. A gush of violet-hued blood erupted from the Draconian's mouth, a painful scream echoing as the Cyclops landed another brutal hit. The Draconian, sprawled on the ground, tried to comprehend the sheer might of his foe. But when he saw Wang Yan, flanked by monstrous beings, realization dawned on him. He's not just any man. He's the king of hell, he thought. Although the Draconian doubted he could take down the surrounding trolls and giants, he believed he had a shot against Wang Yan. But time was ticking. Wang Yan, sensing urgency, declared, the bloody tribulation's effect is nearly gone. This is our last chance. In a frantic attempt, the Draconian lunged, but Wang Yan countered with the cold poison skill. Notifications popped up, updating Wang Yan on the status of the battle. The Draconian's abilities were waning as his strength and speed halved. Seizing the moment, Wang Yan delivered a succession of blows. But, in a desperate move, the Draconian amputated his own wounded arm. Wang Yan, taken aback, exclaimed, Can he even do that? But the draconian's self-assurance was short-lived, as his severed limb exploded in a gory spectacle. As the dust settled, a portal, the gates of the undead, manifested. Emerging, Wang Yan mused. He was clever, trying to escape by sacrificing his own arm. Had it not been for these gates, he would have had the upper hand. Acknowledging the resources he had exhausted, Wang Yan vowed to transform his foe into an undead soldier to counterbalance his losses. And as the draconian lunged again, Wang Yan swiftly ended the conflict, plunging a dagger deep into his enemy's neck. Victory brought its own rewards, and Wang Yan was thrilled to receive a new weapon, discarding his near-dilapidated bone blade. Harnessing the undead control skill, Wang Yan worked to subjugate the fallen draconian. Once revived, the beast's flesh vanished, leaving only a skeletal form. Wang Yan, pleased with his handiwork, reflected. In time, he too will regenerate, just like the Cyclops did. In a display of loyalty, the reanimated draconian knelt. An emblem reading Huanzhu materialized over him. Pondering over this development, Wang Yan speculated, has his name transformed? The system confirmed Wang Yan's dominion over his newest recruit, now named Huanzhu, and transferred the draconian's unique skills to him. The once feared beast was now a loyal servant in Wang Yan's undead army. Wang Yan thought, is there any benefit to changing the name? Will this work on others too? He told the monsters to approach one by one and name the one-eyed one a lie. Now he is like an ancient general. The system window reported that he had given the Cyclops a name and received the tracking eye skill. Wang Yan said that the elite troll would be called Xiaoluqi, and the scout troll would be called Mengfen. The system window reported that he had secured their absolute loyalty and received 1% of the strength of the elite troll and the scout troll. Wang Yan was disappointed. He only received 1%. It looks like he can only get stats from undead warriors without skills if he gives them a name. Cyclops and the trolls laughed, and Wang Yan asked why they were giggling. Let them immediately put out the fire. If the forest burns, he will give them such a scolding. He started to spell goblins and thought he felt like a slime. The system window reported that he had given the true name to the goblins and secured their loyalty. In the morning, he arrived at his destination and sat down on a tree to explore the area below. He saw monsters and wondered where all the villagers were. He looked out the window of one of the houses and noticed that the room was clean. He saw no signs of a struggle. He called someone, but the number was unavailable. He remembered that the connection had not been restored. The absence of signs of a struggle means that there was no clash. But there must be at least some traces of where the people went. They couldn't fly into the sky or fall into the ground. Still, there must be a trace. He just didn't notice it. Suddenly, he saw something below and thought, how could he forget about this place? There was a monument on the ground in honor of the tunnel war that took place in 1951. At this time, there were survivors in the tunnel. The guy asked, are they going back to Tambo's supermarket? The other guy said that Tambo's house is already empty. The old man asked each family for the amount of supplies and their location, after which they would move between houses and look for food. The guy asked, will they move between houses? The girl asked, isn't it dangerous? The other guy replied that it was so dangerous. Otherwise the four of them wouldn't have gone. They looked out of the tunnel and saw Wang Yan killing the monster. They hid in a tunnel and the guy asked, what that just happened? The other guy replied that he had no idea. The girl covered her ears with her hands and said that she was scared. The guy with the glasses said they need to go back. In the village's heart, a man unsheathed a sword, warning the others. If something happens to me, return immediately and seal the passage. Another villager spotted Wang Yan charging towards them and yelled, Brother Tao, watch out. But Wang Yan, with a swift move, deflected the sword, eyeing it keenly. Isn't this an ancient relic? He mused. It still seems functional. Spotting familiar faces emerging from the tunnel, the sword wielder gasped. Brother Yan, how did you make it back? A young girl ran past him, wrapping her arms around a man. Wang Yan warned Wang King. Release her, or she's in danger. The man, trying to ease the tension, reassured Wang Yan. Your parents are safe, as is everyone else. They were all sheltered in the tunnels. We just ventured out for supplies. But why you? Wang Yan's eyes darted to their attire, realizing they had roles, or classes as termed in the gaming world. And where are the other villagers? Wang King, proudly showcasing his magician insignia, answered. We're the only ones from the village with these classes. We've even managed to defeat an orc. As Wang Yan tried to piece things together, he learned that the only commonality between the class holders was their association with a game called Eternal Darkness. Upon inquiring about their victory against the ORC, Wang Tao sheepishly admitted to luring it into a septic tank. Wang Yan grimaced. Gross. Let me handle the supplies. Insisting on accompanying Wang Yan, Wang Tao explained how the village had avoided conflict. At dawn, Grandfather saw orcs approaching and alerted everyone via the loudspeaker to take refuge in the tunnels. With the plan set, the two ventured out, leaving the village's safety in the hands of the newly anointed protectors. In the shadow of a quiet village, Wang Yan remarked, just like Grandpa to have a backup plan. Wang Tao, looking concerned, noted their scarce food supplies. But how did you even make it past that swarm of creatures? He asked his elder brother. Wang Yan looked away. I'd rather not relive it. I tried to evade the orc patrols by scaling a wall. But somehow, they cornered me, and I had to take them all down. A relieved Wang Tao replied. Good thing you're back. They could have easily found us otherwise. Wang Yan gave him a reassuring nod. I'll always protect you. Now, tell me about the orc situation. Wang Tao updated him. From our observations, there are about 60 orcs, grouped in 5s or 6s. The worst is a level 25 ORC general. He's a menace, we almost got caught spying on him. Pensively, Wang Yan said. So, a level 25 ORC general and around 60 orc troops. I can handle one-on-one, but in a group, it's a challenge. Suddenly, the earth trembled. Both brothers looked up as a wall nearby crumbled to reveal an SUV barreling towards them, finally crashing into a tree. The frantic driver tried restarting the car, while his friend in the passenger seat complained. I told you driving around was a bad idea. A young woman in the back seat cried. Ming Yan, let's get out of here. Before anyone could react, a sharp blade pierced the car's roof. A menacing ORC peered inside, causing everyone to scream. But just as suddenly, Wang Yan leaped into action, grabbing the orc's ear, which caused it to yelp in agony. Seeing their captain in distress, another orc exclaimed, Poor captain's ear. While another shouted, What are we waiting for? After them. The young woman in the car, trying to make sense of the scene, said, Wait, where did the monsters go? Ming Yan sighed. They're chasing him now. Without warning, Wang Tao knocked on the car's window, urging the group to follow him. Meanwhile, Wang Yan, leading a horde of goblins and orcs, marveled at their sheer number. How many of these creatures are there? He thought. After a moment, he reckoned he'd led them far enough and prepared for what lay ahead. Wang Yan tossed the fallen orc's body to the others, saying, Here's your brother back. The orcs inspected their fallen comrade, their eyes soon narrowing in anger towards Wang Yan. One growled, threatening to end Wang Yan's life. As an orc lunged, Wang Yan deftly deflected the attack and unleashed his cold poison skill. 5 swift strikes later, he made a hasty retreat just as an explosion engulfed the orcs, diminishing their strength. Confronting the orc leader, Wang Yan held his dagger menacingly. You again. The orc captain grunted, only to scream as Wang Yan slashed his face. At that moment, the dragon warrior Wanju emerged, roaring his intention to destroy any who dared defy his master. With a fierce slash, he dispatched one orc, his intent clear upon seeing the others. An unexpected attack from an orc took Wang Yan by surprise. Return my brother's life! The orc yelled. As Wang Yan defended himself, he retorted, I didn't take your brother's life. Why blame me? From a distance, the voice of the dragon warrior boomed, threatening to end them all. Facing the challenging orc, Wang Yan provoked, "If you think you're a match for me, come." The orc's surprise at Wang Yan's strength was evident when two more joined the fight, attacking in quick succession. "They come one after the other," Wang Yan mused aloud, skillfully fending them off. As another orc charged at him, swearing to use Wang Yan's skull as a tribute, Wang Yan agilely sidestepped and taunted, "See you in the afterlife." He retaliated with a series of sharp blows. Yet another orc rushed forward, vowing revenge for the fallen captain. With a smirk, Wang Yan challenged, "Think you can manage?" Suddenly, allies named Zhu and Zhu materialized, bolstering Wang Yan's side. One orc rallied his companions. "Stay strong, for the captain." But amidst the chaos, a notification appeared. Wang Yan had leveled up to 22. Seated atop a pile of loot, Wang Yan sighed. "All this gear, and none suited for me." He decided it was time to head back, considering the day's events an unexpected windfall.